Why should I not steal his backpack? If survival of the fittest is true, why should I not steal his backpack?
Well, the thing is that you're part of the same tribe.
So what?
We're part of the same society. That doesn't benefit anybody. If you are of different tribes, that isn't necessarily immoral, at least in the human perspective.
No. If what you say is true, then if I want to be part of a gang,
Born and raised, I'm an atheist.
Yep.
Like, I have never had faith in a higher power during my life.
Right?
I do not have faith in the Bible as a source. What proof do you have outside of that?
Good. The first piece of evidence, not proof, but the first piece of evidence that points me to God is order and design do not come out of chaos by chance.
Right.
Order and design point to some type of intelligent mind.
Biology student myself.
Yes.
I'm a firm believer in kind of principles of evolution.
Good.
That kind of thing.
Let me just hop quickly on though.
Yeah.
Where is the creative mechanism in evolution? Because I believe in evolution as a process, but where is the creative mechanism in evolution?
I don't think I fully understand the question, but
How do you get something from nothing in evolution?
the thing is that it didn't come from nothing. I forgot what the exact title of the experiment, but there is this idea that the primordial soup, right?
Yeah.
The oceans of a primordial Earth with
Sir, I think we can bring this one to a conclusion fairly quickly. I am convinced that before the Big Bang, there was nothing.
right.
Okay, and that's what Einstein acknowledged. And that's why Einstein tried to beat the Big Bang mathematically.
I see.
And he introduced a fudge factor to try and prove that the Big Bang was not true. Because Einstein understood, if the Big Bang is true, my pantheism, which means everything is God, is wrong. There's a creator. Because everything that has a beginning has a cause. The universe has a beginning, therefore the universe has a cause, and it's far more reasonable to believe in the beginning an intelligent mind caused it than to believe nothing caused it.
Right.
And that's philosophically unacceptable. Bang! What caused that? Nothing. That is stupidity. Rank stupidity. Everything that has a beginning has a cause. The universe has a beginning, therefore the universe has a cause. What is the best answer to the question, who caused the universe?
In that case, it would be God, right?
Yeah, God is the most reasonable explanation.
Then what is our explanation for the beginning of God?
Great question. It is idolatry to think God has a beginning. Because the God who has revealed himself through Jesus Christ has revealed himself as eternal. So when I begin to say, well, who created God? It means I don't understand who God has revealed himself to be. Nobody created God because God does not have a beginning. Remember, I didn't say everything has a cause. I said everything that has a beginning has a cause. God is eternal, so God does not have a cause. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and in that case, that's kind of my view for, well, existence itself without a creator. Because God does not have a cause,
Right.
and, well, we exist, so how is it so much more to believe that existence itself does not have a cause?
Because existence cannot come out of non-existence.
But God can.
No, God doesn't come out of anything. See, there's nothing before God that God comes out of, because God is eternal. No beginning, no end. But everything that has a beginning, like this guy and me, there's got to be a cause for him and me, because we definitely have a beginning. And we're getting a little older, so we're not going to be around a lot longer, okay? But we have a beginning, which means there's got to be a cause for this dude and for this dude. Make sense?
Of course.
Good. Well, I thank you for that, okay? All right, now quickly, let's just go through some other pieces of evidence of why we believe God exists.
Of course.
Moral absolutes. I'm convinced to the root of my being that if this guy pulls out a knife and sticks it in your body,
Right.
that is absolutely wrong, because this man is violating your value.
Of course.
Now, the only way you can have value is if someone created you. Because if nobody created you, you just happened by accident. Which means any value you have is either you gave it to yourself, or I gave it to you and some powerful people, or your culture did.
Right.
Right?
And-
But I would argue that it's still relative. The reason I'm convinced that if he sticks a knife into you, it's evil, is because you have innate value that comes from your Creator, who created you for a purpose and who really loves you. Third one is moral absolutes, objective morals pointing to some type of Creator. Fourth one is this: your rational mind. Does it come from the non-rational, or does it come from the rational? An atheist is someone who says, my rational mind comes from the non-rational. I can't... That doesn't make any sense. The rational comes from the rational. The rational does not come from the irrational, which is why, not that I've proven God, but it's evidence that it's more reasonable to say we come from God, not that we come from the non-rational.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I believe so. Define the rational and the non-rational. I don't think I understand where we come from.
All right. You have the ability, and hopefully I have the ability, to think rationally. All right? That is why, if I make a rational mistake, you're going to look me in the face and say, Cliff, that makes no sense.
Right.
That's irrational. Okay, my ability to think rationally comes from rational being. It doesn't come from this. This has no ability to rationalize. Neither does that tree.
Of course.
But you and I do. So is it more reasonable to think that our ability to reason comes from a rational being, God, or is it more reasonable to believe that our rational talent comes from the non-rational, just from matter and energy?
This is difficult for me because I just see us on different wavelengths, honestly. Like, we do believe different things, apparently.
Yes, we believe different things.
And
You'll be next.
just for these pieces of evidence, I see these coming from not a higher power, but from necessity.
From,
Necessity.
well, what does that mean?
Because, say, coming from my point of view, every piece of a human comes from a piece of evidence. Like, every piece of a human is part of necessity and gives someone more chance of survival. So, say our morality. I see you didn't like that. Say morality. If he were to stab me, say we're part of the same tribe,
Yeah?
ancient human.
Yeah?
If he were to stab me while we were out, say, gathering berries, he can't. The tribe has lost a member.
Yeah?
We can't have as many berries now, and he can't carry back as much food. Perhaps now, even then, my parents are going to be mad at him, and the tribe breaks apart. Like, equals less survival and less humans.
Maybe. Does rape help the human experiment continue?
No.
Yes, it does. Rape can produce babies.
Yes, but
Survival of the fittest. Why should I not steal his backpack? If survival of the fittest is true, why should I not steal his backpack?
Well, the thing is that you're part of the same tribe.
So what?
We're part of the same society. That doesn't benefit anybody. If you are of different tribes, that isn't necessarily immoral, at least in the human perspective.
No. If what you say is true, then if I want to be part of a gang, and the gang says, in order to be part of our tribe, our gang, you got to go out and murder, does that make me going out and murder good?
No,
Thank you.
because that's unnecessary murder of people in the same city, the same tribe.
No. I want to be part of a gang, which is a tribe, a family. And in order to be part of a gang, they're telling me I got to go out and murder. My desire to be part of a tribe, the tribe defining good and evil, is that really objective morality? Does that really make it good because the tribe says it's good?
No.
Thank you. Which is why you and I need to acknowledge God exists, because God's character, which is just, defines murder as being wrong. I don't care what gang or what tribe or what nation, be it Nazi Germany or whatever, says it's good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. So I need to move on to another person, but I cannot thank you enough for your respectful thinking, and I appreciate it a lot.
Just want to know your thoughts on why Christians just feel the need to come and be like, hey, follow God, or, this and this and this is going to happen,
You bet.
and not other religions.
Good. Because I love you, and I love every person here. I don't have an option. I don't love you because I'm a great guy. I love you because Jesus Christ commands his followers to love everybody. And I'm a follower of Christ. And I've experienced his love, and therefore I'm going to do something as stupid as stand out here. And I can promise you, ma'am, my culture, where I grew up in Connecticut, you don't do this. Nobody else does it. Okay? So then why would I do this? Something as stupid as stand out here. Because I love you. Which means I really care about your eternal destiny and your life now. And I am convinced to the root of my life, to the root of my being, that your life will be better if you believe in Christ. It'll be better in this life, and I'm convinced if you believe in Jesus, you'll go to heaven. And I want to get to know you for eternity in heaven. That would be an honor for me. I'm also a thinking human being, as you are, which means we're both concerned about truth. I don't want to live for a lie, and I don't want you to live for a lie. I assume that we're here at university because we're all concerned about truth, growing in education. Jesus said, I am the truth. So for me as a follower of Christ, truth is all wrapped up in a person, Jesus Christ. Okay, now am I making any sense so far? Do you have a problem with anything I've said?
I think you're sharing your opinions, and that's what the horse statues are all for.
Good. Okay, so you go back to the truth issue. And I'm convinced that a liberal arts education is all about the free exchange of ideas, especially when we don't agree. But we respect each other, we're tolerant, but we seek to get going on finding truth. And ma'am, to be honest with you, if I am a breast cancer specialist and I'm sitting across the table from a woman who's not very well educated, has never had a mammogram, and she has some signs of breast cancer, if I love her, I will tell her about a mammogram. And I will encourage her to get a mammogram. But if I don't love her, I could care less what happens to her breast cancer. Live your own life. Goodbye. You see, that's apathy. In fact, I think that's denigrating a person. No, if I'm a breast cancer specialist and I'm confronted by a woman who's uneducated, knows nothing about breast cancer, I better tell her about mammogram and the importance of her getting one. Similarly, if Jesus Christ leads to eternal life, I had better tell you about him if I love you, if I'm concerned about truth. Does that make any sense? What do you think about Jesus?
I mean, I grew up, I was raised Catholic. I think that people can believe what they want to believe. I, for one, don't really know whether or not God exists, and I honestly couldn't give a f***.
Why?
I just don't want to waste my life on something that I won't know exists until I die.
Uh-huh. You know, I don't know his name. Never met the guy before. So, you know, bud, just get lost. I want to live my life, you live your life. I can go about life that way, and I think a lot of us have gone about life that way. But wait a second, time out. If this is a human being with innate value, if we are equal, would it not be wise for me to make some effort to get to know him if I have the opportunity?
Sure.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to live a pretty lonely existence. Because every relationship that I have demands effort. And I dare say that every relationship you have demands effort. Effort like love. Effort like forgiving. Effort like telling the truth when you would prefer to lie. Effort like accepting a person for who they are and not forcing them to be someone they're not. Right? Well, I think the same thing might apply between God and me. If he really gave me life, hadn't I better make an effort to get to know him?
If you want to, that's up to you. Free will and all that.
Yes, free will and all that. Free will and all of that. Pop! Was that a wise decision I made, to hit him? It's free will.
It's up to you if it's wise.
It's up to me whether it's wise.
Your opinions.
Okay. Have you ever experienced some opinions that were wrong?
If I believe they're wrong, then they're wrong to me. But if other people think they're correct, agree to disagree, I guess.
Okay, do you really believe that? Okay, so if I have a racist attitude towards this man right here, can you come here a second? If I have a racist attitude towards him, and you ask me, why do you have a racist attitude towards him? And I say, it's my choice. What do you think about that?
It is totally your choice. I mean, it's not like a good thing to be a racist person, but if you want to be like that, you can be like that.
Okay, but you did make a judgment there, and I'm glad you did. You said, if you think it's a good thing to be racist. Okay, do you think it's a good thing for me to be racist?
No,
No. Why?
it's the 21st century.
Oh. So because it's the 21st century, it's not good for me to be racist towards him. Are you serious? What happens if culture changes? What happens if culture says 25 years from now racism is good?
It's never good.
Oh, it's never good.
Duh.
Good. Why is it never good?
Is there a human being?
Because they're a human being. But if this man is simply a cockroach evolved to a higher order, I step on cockroaches. Is there something wrong for me stepping on him?
So go ahead and try it. I don't think you could step on him.
Well, I agree with that. No question, he's got a lot more muscle than I do. But if I could, if I had the strength to do that to him, do you think that's ever right?
It's your opinion.
Oh, come on, ma'am, you know better than that. Just because it's my opinion that he's inferior to me doesn't make it right, does it?
I mean, people are allowed to believe what they want to believe.
I know
don't
people
think
are.
That's right specifically, but it's up to you.
Okay, but wait a
Make
second.
your own choices. You can craft your own opinions.
Yes, correct. We can all make our own decisions. We can all craft our own opinions. But if it is true that this man is created in the image of God, that God has given him value and he's created us equal, then it is absolutely evil for me to denigrate him. So that's why, according to Christ, it is never permissible for me to denigrate him, to dehumanize him. Because when I do that, I'm saying, not valuable, dirt. Not valuable. And Christ says, that's a lie. He is valuable. Just as valuable as you are, Cliff, because I made you both in my image. And I love you both, and I died for you both on a cross to forgive you and to give you eternal life. You see, man, if you take God out of the picture, you're up a creek without a paddle when it comes to explaining to me why denigrating him is wrong. It's just, as you've said so eloquently, and you're right, it's just a choice. If there is no God, it's just a choice. So if today I want to respect him, that's my choice. And if tomorrow I want to disrespect him, that's my choice. You've got to be kidding me. You really want to live your life that way? You think that makes sense with reality? That doesn't make sense, man. In fact, I think you know that. Because I don't think that you live out moral relativism. I don't think you live out, oh, it's whatever I choose. So I'm going to flip you off today because I choose to. And I'm going to love you and respect you tomorrow because I choose to. I don't think you live that way, do you? Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong.
Well, the world isn't just black and white, so it's, there are shades of gray. There are different things people believe. It's not like a simple, clean-cut thing whether something is right or wrong.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know how much money I should give to feed the starving. Should I give 90% away or 100? Well, thank you, man, for talking.